now is we're going to move on to our barbell movements, and the first one we're going to cover is the back squat. Now, first thing we're going to notice when Chris sets up for his back squat is the position he puts his hands in. He comes just outside shoulder width with his grip. From here, he's going to put himself under his bar. Okay, in this set-up position, we can see that Chris has maintained a nice neutral back. Okay, the bar is directly over his heels, and in this position here, he can stand that bar straight up. Good. He's going to step that bar up. Again, he's going to set his feet to where they need to be, and he's going to sit straight back and down into the bottom of that squat. Now, when he's in the bottom of that squat, the chest is up, the back is nice and tight, the hip crease is below the knee, and he's got good tension in his hamstrings and his glutes. The barbell is directly over his heels. From here, he's going to stand his foot extension, and that is the back squat. Mistakes we see from the off, though, would be when we take that bar from the rack position. We need to make sure we do stand that bar out the rack when we come to do our squat. So a lot of people will literally wrench the bar out of the rack and pull through their back, okay, instead of standing up like we demonstrated at the start, okay. So we need to make sure that when we do wrap it up, we are underneath that bar, especially if we've got a lot of weight on this bar and we're hitting heavy loads, we are directly underneath that bar and everything is stacked through the spine and the midline over those hips. We can stand that bar with our legs. Cool. The second thing we see go wrong is people tend to go too wide in their grip. If I now go wide in my grip, Chris has lost tension in his shoulders, okay, and the bar can move only to that back position. So he's going to bring his grip back in to where it was. Now he's got a nice tight back and he's created a good rack position on his traps. When we go down, we need to make sure that Chris comes straight back and down into that squat. So as it comes down to that bottom position, the chest has remained nice and high. Just go up and do it. Just do, when you come down, shoot the hip back and the chest down. So if we've got an immature squat, what we don't want to see is where the chest comes too far down and the hip comes too far back, because now the barbell is driving down and putting pressure on that lower back. Okay, just stand it up. Alternatively, when we come out that bottom position, we need to make sure we drive straight up out of the bottom. So just go down to the bottom first, Chris. When you come up, just twerk slightly. So as Chris comes up, he's going to drive the arse back and the chest stays down. From here, he's got to pull the chest up and stand it up to get that bar straight. But when he does that, he pulls through the lower back. And if you've got a lot of weight over your shoulders, directly over your midline, and that weight is pushing you down, when you pull that weight back through the lower back, you're actually going to cause a lot of issues here in the lower back. Okay? So we need to make sure that when we do come out the bottom of that squat, just at the bottom, we come straight up out the bottom, keeping everything stacked in the back and in the middle. Okay? Cool. And rack it out first. Come on to the front.
Moved by the lovely assistant.
Yep. My boys now moving us around. Okay, cool. So now, when we come to the front, we can now see a little bit clearer now the grip that Chris has taken for his setup. He's then going to take that bar to the back again. And what we need to take note of is his foot position as well. So notice that when Chris is setting up, he's flared his toes slightly. As long as your stance is around your hip width, your feet do not have to be directly under your hips for your squat. As long as they're around your hip width, they'll be fine. And he's slightly flared his toes. And he's done this to allow his hips to open, driving those knees out to allow him to sit straight back down into that squat and keep his chest up in the bottom position. So just demonstrate a good squat for us. So he's going to drive those knees out, sitting straight down, and drive them straight back up. If we come to shoot our knees in front, we tend to see the chest fall down, and we tend to see you pull that bar through your back like we just demonstrated from the side. We can see it a little bit clearer from the front. So as Chris shoots his knees in front, we can see that the bar now pulls his chest down, and his chest is right down into his knees. Quite comfortable, right? Yep, okay, so pull that chest up.
How you feeling?
To get his chest up, he had to pull through his lower back and then stand to full extension. One last point I'm going to make on this one is the control of the descent. Okay, so what we don't want to do is just hit that bottom position really fast and under control. If you're an experienced squatter, you can get away with hitting this at a good speed. But if you've got an immature squat or you're new to squatting, you want to hit that bottom position. He's going to get a good belly full of air, hit that bottom position under control, he's got tension in the bottom position, and then he's going to drive out. If Chris does this in real time, he's going to hit that bottom position and go. Good. Notice how he hit it nice and controlled, he hit that bottom position nice and tight, and then he exploded out of that bottom position to full extension. And then he's going to walk that bar in and re-rack. Good job. And that is our back squat.